Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Pokemon TCG Center. Another video, and in today's video, we'll be looking at Blacephalon GX, early post-rotation build with Reshizard, with Turtonator, with Persian GX, with so many different Pokemons. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different Pokemons in this deck list, which is just insane. We all know that pre-post-rotation Blacephalon was just, either way, 3 copies of Poipole, 4 Naganandles, or 3-3 with 1 Ditto and 1 Little Muck, and 4 Blacephalon GXs, maybe 1 or 2 Marshadows on top of it, and that was pretty much it. This deck list contained Turtonator with Explosive Jet, 1 Ditto of course, 1 Persian with the Catwalk, 3 Blacephalons, which I think is just more than enough because there's also 1 Reshizard GX as a backup attacker, the Dean with Dean Charge, and 3 copies of each Poipole and Naganandle. I'm not going to spend too much time on Naganandle, not even on the Blacephalon GX. I'm going to spend a couple words on the Turtonator. 1 prize attacking Pokemon with Explosive Jet can hit for so many damage. Still going to trade just 1 prize for theoretically 2 or 3 prize cards. There's a Reshizard with 270 HP as attack as well with the Outrage, Flare Strike, and Double Blaze, just in case if we run out of the resources, if we don't have enough resources to discard, we can tank a little bit with 2 energies with the Reshizard. Theoretically even with the 1 if you run Counter Gain. Catwalk, Persian GX, which says that once during a turn, if one of your Pokemon GX or Pokemon EXpers knocked down during your opponent's last turn, you might search a deck for up to 2 cards and put them in your hand. Remember, boys, 2 cards, any 2 cards. You can still use Vengeance. You can still use Slashback GX if you want, because you can use it with the Welder. So theoretically, you can even attack with a Persian, which is not going to be the case in this Blacephalon Turtonator Reshizard deck. Anyways, 3 of each Poipole and Naganandle, and yeah, pretty much 1 the Din with the Din Charge, and that's going to be it. So yeah, moving on to the item cards. First things first for the setup: 2 Ultra Space, 1 Heat Factory, and then 3 Mystery Treasures, including also 2 Communications. With those cards, you're going to be able to quickly search your Pokemon, your deck for the Pokemons, properly set up, consistently set up. In addition to that, you're also going to have saving throw support in item card, which is a Judge Whistle. Still can be used for the Judge. I think the Judge is going to be mainly important card for the post-rotation, at least in the early stage of the game. In the later stage of the game, you're going to have Reset Stamp anyways, so you're just going to be able to, theoretically end your opponent down to 1 or 2 cards, depending on how many prize cards he have, and you're not going to end your hand, which is pretty dope and strong. There's also going to be 2 Farflints, for that energy search, so we can use Welder. Very important, as well as 2 copies of energy switches, 4 of each Custom Catcher and B-String. Really don't want to spend too much time explaining why. And then for the draw support, we're going to run Welders, we're going to run Sightseers, and of course Judge. And 15 energies, 14 fire, and 1 beast energy. And this is the deck list without Lily, without Cynthia, so you don't need to spend money on Lily and Cynthia. They're not too expensive. They used to be expensive, but these days they're not expensive anymore. But yeah, pretty much Weller will drop you some cards, Sightseer will drop you some cards. You really want to have Sightseer because you really want to have option to discard some cards from your hand. In translation, some energies in your discard pile, so you can use Naganadel for the charge up. Really, really important. Then again, Welder will allow you to have some extra energy acceleration as well. Yeah, this is the deck list I'm going to use in today's video. I hope you guys are going to like this deck list. You should definitely try it out if you're going to the World Championship this year. If you plan to play Blacephalon GX, think twice. Think twice because it is a very powerful deck. It is a broken deck. It is a busted deck. This deck list is very good. You should definitely try it by yourself, and of course test it by for the meta. Maybe tweak it a little bit, change some things, depend on the meta you expect, and you're gonna definitely have a lot of success with this deck. In my opinion, with this deck list, with a little bit of tweaks, with a little bit of new cards, with good deck knowledge and with good game knowledge, you can easily go to the day 2 with something like this. No question about that. Yeah, make sure to hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more videos, as always, and yeah, see you in the game. And we are coming back with a Blacephalon GX deck featuring Reshizard, Persian GX, the Dean, Turtonator, Naganando, so there's also a Ditto Poipole, so many different Pokemons, so many different options, so many plays for, calculation, for possible attacks, for possible plays, and for possible outcomes with this deck. It is literally much more demanded and harder deck to play these days for the post rotation than it was before. Obviously, some cards should be included in this deck. For example, like reset stamp. Is it reset stamp, or I'm just wrong? I don't know. Probably it is. But yeah, you have so many different options to go right now with Blacephalon, especially with the welder being included. I also decided to put some Judge Whistles. You can just change Judge Whistles for Acrobikes. It really depends on the strategy you really want to have. I think the Judge is going to be very crucial and important card for the post rotation. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm not. It is really hard to tell. But I think that the Judge is going to be a very important card for the post rotation. With the Judge Whistle, you can actually have some space for the calculation as well. Alright, Energy Switch, the card that you really don't need at the turn 1 in this case. You really want to start with, basically a... we're going to be greedy. We're going to get that Naganandle into the hand as fast as we can. Really don't want to set another Poipole. I think it's just much important to have that Naganandle turn 2 in play, but right now I just don't even have option to use it into my favor anyways. As it looks right now, I'm just probably going to go with the Burst GX, but I might even decide to go with the Mind Blow just because I can hit for the weakness Jirachi with single energy card and take the first prize card in the game, and maybe later in the game I can think about using Burst GX, or maybe even that Reshizard GX attack that's also very powerful. I mean, with 3 energies, why not? Hitting for 200 and still having options to keep energies in play. It's very important for Naganandle. Alright, so Stellar Wish has been used. There is a Nazball for my opponent. Is it Pika Zekrom on the other side of it, the Jolteon? I don't know, I can only have clue about it. But I can probably, I can just guess, right? Yeah, I can probably just guess. So there is a Nazball, and I can maybe potentially see Pikachu and Zekrom. There we go. He really wants to be aggressive here. Possible tech for my deck, obviously Mew. Yes, of course. Bench Barrier, always good. Decided not to include it in the build. But if you're gonna play against plenty of Pikarom decks, you should probably consider doing that because Tag Ball can go for like 170 on the bench, and theoretically your opponent can steal triple prize card, knocking Blacephalon plus Naganandle, which is really disgusting. Of course, Mew can be good in that case, but it can be bad mostly against many other decks. And it can just get that one extra space, which I really don't like. There's the Tapu Koko and 2 Enlightening Energies in the discard pile, meaning that Jolteon will be fully charged for that Headbolt Evens with Ram GX turn 1. And 110 is just the base damage. We all know that my opponent is not playing post-rotation list, so he can have Choice Band for damage increased as well as Electro Powers, so that damage can easily bump up dramatically. And there is a Guzma for my Poipole. He decided rather to go for the Turtonator. He thinks that the Turtonator is much bigger threat. I just think different. I just think that he should definitely go for the Poipole. I'm not gonna complain because, hey, it's just perfectly fine for me. I can have 2 Naganandles right now stacked in play, and that's just much better for me. Unfortunately, no energies in my discard pile, meaning that I'm just gonna go with Burst Burn. Yes, unfortunately. Which might be a good thing, which might be a bad thing. It might be a bad thing if my opponent decides to full blitz with, you know, some sort of the energy switch combo, electro power, or maybe even tag bolt. He also have that option available, but if he tag bolt me, I can just top deck something like a beast ring and then simply destroys my opponent by that. And right now I actually kind of regret that I didn't use my Burst GX in that case. But I couldn't see that coming, and he just hit for 150, meaning that possibly Guzma can bring him 4 prize card knockout. Technically meaning that I really need to do something significant here, and then again, there's the Pokemon communication, which is a good thing here, because right now I can grab myself the Dean if I have it, of course. Other than that, we're gonna use Ultra Space, pretty much for that Blacephalon, that is gonna be discarded. Energy and the Dean play. Alright, there we go. Looks good, but still I need something more than that. So I think I'm probably gonna go with a Mystery Treasure for nothing. I already attached my energy, so I'm pretty much forced to play Sightseer. And I'm gonna keep I'm gonna keep my energy switch. There's a charge up. And another charge up. And I'm unfortunately short for like... Oh no, I'm not short. I can swing... Okay, I have knockout. Alright, I didn't see that coming. We're gonna put Reshi on the bench, as well as we're gonna play and Judge Whistle for an extra card, which is another energy. There's a Fire Flint in my hand, sitting available for a lot more energy cards. Yes, why not to use that into my favor. I'm gonna keep some energies just in case of the Beast Ring play. Other than that, that's gonna be mind blow. 50, 100, 50, 250. And right now I managed to knock out my opponent Pika Zekrom. And I'm taking triple prize card. Triple digit play. And what I can expect to see right now from my opponent's side of the field, it is probably a Swift Run GX. And then he can grab himself double prize card, plus he can prevent damage down to the Jolteon next turn. And that's a pretty good move. In my opinion, it is a very good move. Still, I have advantage using the Beast Ring. And still I'm gonna have advantage with the Reshizard Outrage, Flare Strike, as well as the Double Blaze. But what I'm gonna need here will be a Flare Strike, probably for the knockout against Jolteon if he attacks me. And then I can just win the game with the Burst GX. So I actually have one good play in my eyes. What I'm gonna do if my opponent uses his Swift Run GX, I will promote another Blacephalon. I'm gonna use a couple Beast Rings, and then I'm gonna activate Burst GX. And simply that's gonna be it. I'm gonna move down to 2 prize cards, still technically possibly meaning my opponent can win the game if he can somehow knock Reshizard out. Theoretically he can do that, but he needs Tag Bolt and 3 copies of Electro Power with the Guzma, which is not super easy. And he also needs to move somehow that Jirachi from the front, which he might not be able to do. And this might just be a GG. There's the Ace Roller. Yeah, damn it. He made such a horrible mistake there. There's the energy for the Zapdos. Maybe he have some sort of the switch option available. Maybe not. So he just made a huge mistake there. Even if he had option to hit me with that Jolteon, it wouldn't change things dramatically, mainly because I was able to basically use my GX into my favor and simply counter my opponent back and knock him out. So pretty much standard per rotation deck list. Nothing, nothing new to me, because I play this deck also in the real life and I also have very good knowledge about it. So yeah, that's the GG, and we're gonna jump up to the game number 2. Alright, we're back with the game number 2. That game number 1 was it was a good matchup, but my opponent made such a huge mistake. But that actually didn't change things dramatically. I would still win the game anyways. At least I'm confident that I would probably win the game anyways. I mean, theoretically my opponent could win the game, but it was really hard for him to do that. I mean, literally it was. And another Reshizard. Alright. So I'm gonna put communication for Persian, and I'm gonna grab myself Ditto. Turn 1 Ditto for me. In addition to that, I'm gonna use heat. I'm gonna first use Judge Whistle. Maybe I get lucky with fire energy. So we're gonna try to find it out. There it is. Fire energy for 3 extra cards. There's a Reshizard. But what if I just use my Fire Flint for something like, let's say, communication? I'm gonna keep actually communication. I'm gonna throw B-String and Catcher from my hand in order to grab myself 4 extra cards, and 4 of these cards are going to be energy cards. They needs to be energy. Communication trade for something like a Poipole. Alright, you really need to have 1 Poipole on the bench turn 1, if it's possible. Then Welder. Really good deck list, really consistent. Works perfect so far. Then I'm going to attach 1 energy onto my Poipole and pass the turn. So for the turn 1, Poipole plus Ditto, Blacephalon with 2 energies, energy on the Poipole, 1 energy in a discard pile available, as well as the Heat Factory in the front, a Judge available in the hand. I can't complain too much. I mean, theoretically I can turn 2 swing for 250, grab myself 3 prize cards versus that Pikazakram, and pretty much, win the game at my next turn. So we're gonna use another Heat Factory there, in hope to find the Naganandel, and there it is. There is a Naganandel. More than that, Mystery Treasure, which needs to be for another Poipole in this case. As long as I have Ditto on the bench, I don't need to worry too much, literally. So we're gonna use 1 charge up, and right now I have 5 energies, plus there is also Heat Factory, but I'm gonna surprise my opponent with Judge Blade. I think his hand is a little bit too big, so I really want to put it down to 4 cards, so I can have much greater and better chance to just outplay him. And there we go. Moving straight forward here with 5 energies, 250. That Pikazakram is just a history. It's been knocked out, and there's a energy switch. Perfect. Another Blacephalon, as well as another Blacephalon. Alright. I guess I don't need... Oh, actually I'm running only 3 Blacephalons in this deck list, and 2 of them were priced. So I got pretty lucky there. Alright, so there's a Thunder Mountain, which means that we might see Tank Bolt or maybe Full Blitz. If I'm my opponent, I would definitely try to go with a knockout there. But if he can pull the knockout to Full Blitz, that's going to be the best thing for him. Literally. The bad thing for me is the fact that I don't have Blacephalon available on my bench. But if he used Full Blitz, then probably he's going to lose the game. I mean, he's probably going to lose the game anyways, because I already have 3 price card advantage and I'm in a very good position. The good thing is that I only need 1 card, which needs to be Persian GX. And I played 2 communications. I don't have any communication left. So pure luck needs to happen for me. And I see another Pikazakram coming on the bench, which means that he's probably going to full blitz me there. And if he have Electro Power, that full blitz will be very effective for the knockout. and for 3 energies to another Picosecrum on the bench, so he can have backup option available. If that can happen, then he can definitely come back in the game. I can still swing for like 160 with the Neg and Handle theoretically, so damage can still be done, but I can even win the game. I can theoretically even win the game with my Turtonator, which is really unlikely to happen, but if I can pull another energy switch, in theory it can happen. But I'm not gonna risk, I'm not gonna be greedy. I'm gonna send just Neg and Handle in the front. I can still retreat and have energy attached on the... Oh, what a nice top deck. I think that this top deck is literally gonna give me the weak 3 here. B-String. There we go. I can have manually energy attachment from my hand. Then I'm gonna use my charge up, so I can burn energy switch. Of course, I'm gonna use my energy switch onto another Blacephalon. So with the custom catcher, I can draw 2 more cards. Ooh, I wish I didn't have this Blacephalon on the bench. Still, I can draw like 5 more cards with the Sightseer, and maybe I can find a couple more B-strings. Well, there is another B-string, and this is gonna be enough for the game. I can use my Ultra Space, grab myself another Neg and Handle. There we go, another Neg and Handle, and there is only 1 energy in my discard pile, but that should be enough. And even better, I also have Mystery Treasure available, which means that I can just throw the Mystery Treasure from the hand, for that another 5 energy, get another Neg and Handle in play, and simply knock my opponent out for another 3 prize cards. And easy second game, you know, 2 quick games in a row, 2 victories. Not sure what to say. I mean, deck is pretty good, but oh, I wouldn't definitely run 4 Picosecrums. That's a little bit too much. That's a really, wow, that's really interesting deck list. 4 Picosecrums, maybe a little bit too much. I mean, not maybe, but definitely. I mean, why in the world would you run so many Picosecrums? 3 should be just enough. Personally, I'm running only 2 of them. Anyways, guys, that's it. That's all I'm gonna say. There's the deck list. There's the skeleton for this deck list. You should definitely give it a shot. Try to test it by your own. See how it works. And let me know in the comments below what you think about it. So, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Till then, have a nice day and goodbye.